Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind. This is your Channel for Grace. Thank you so much for being here live, and thank you for watching the replay of this video. If you're new, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. I am excited today to talk about the astrology for the week, which is actually insane, you guys. Earlier today, I usually go live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, but that was just not going to happen. The day kind of got away from me, and I'm actually shuffling cards right now. The day got away from me, and we just went way into, I had my Meta Power Challenge meeting at like 5 p.m. And then I actually was talking to my friend for a little while, and then I had to go eat. So it was just not going to happen on time, but doesn't matter because the energy of this week is just freaking insane. And we're going to talk about it because there's a lot to talk about. I do want to say hi to everybody that is here. Veronica and Mama O and Valerie are here. And those of you that are not in the chat, feel free to say hi in the chat so I can see that you're here. That would be awesome. So what I do on this show is I talk about the astrology of the week, and then I pull some cards for the collective. Everyone that's watching this video, if you find yourself watching this video, then it's because you were meant to be here. Life is crazy. All right, so before we dive in, I do want to invite you to download my free moon astrology guide. There's a link down below to do that. Once you do, it'll tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It enters you into my email list. And then you are going to get, through the email list, a weekly moon magic report, which is basically the astrology for the week. And a few other emails that are announcements and stuff, but I don't send too many emails, just that once a week one. And then every once in a while when there's announcements, I send stuff out. So not too bad. And I love having the ability to be able to do that and contact the community for all the things that I offer. So as I'm finishing shuffling these cards, I hope that you guys are having a good week. Feel free to let me know in the chat how you're doing. And I literally just said that, and it's Monday. That's too fucking funny. I was like, yeah, I just said that, and it's Monday. Jai, it's Monday. You know what? I've been having this really weird experience. Hello, Raessa. That I basically, yesterday I thought it was Monday. Saturday I thought it was Sunday. I'm like getting ahead of myself. Are you guys feeling that? Is anybody else feeling that? Like, I'm like, I like, it's so weird. I really don't even know how to describe it. My day was so long. I know. My day was so long. I'm like, I don't even know what. Yeah. Anyways. So we're just going to dive into the astrology because this is a crazy energy that is going on right now. First of all, the sun and Venus are getting really close together. So Venus is going to conjunct the sun this Saturday. This is the Saturday that we begin our Moon Goddess Training Level 3, which I'm really freaking excited about. But this conjunction is getting stronger and stronger, which means Venus is really fully in the underworld. But she's also getting ready to transition out of the underworld and into the celestial realm, because this is going to be the evening star that she becomes in a couple of months, or in a month or so. Like, after this powerful conjunction, once she makes it to the other side of the sun, we're going to start to see her in the evening sky. And that is called, the conjunction itself is called the superior conjunction. Her in the evening sky is actually the celestial Venus. And so it does activate the celestial codes. And this is a transit that is actually happening at 29 degrees of Libra. We're going to do some Clary Sage for that. So 29. Did I say 28? I meant 29. But anyways, I don't even want to talk about that transit in this broadcast, because we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. And I'm going to dive into that on Wednesday for the Magic of Venus, which is where we cover everything Venus. The other things that are going on are, for one, we have the sun and Venus, because they're very close together. They're both making a couple of very powerful aspects to Mars and then to Pluto. So that's a bit intense. What we're going to see is a trine from the sun to Mars, and that was today, but these are energies that are going to be like kind of lingering for a bit. So a trine from the sun to Mars, a trine from Venus to Mars the next day. So we've got the 17th sun trine Mars, 18th Venus trine Mars, 19 sun square Pluto, and then on the 20th Venus square Pluto. And then on the 22nd, so we get one day off. No, I'm just kidding. And then on the 22nd, Venus makes her conjunction to the sun. But there's something else that is lurking in the shadows, literally lurking in the shadows. And it is the dark moon. You guys, this week the moon is dark. It's going to be, not exactly yet, but it's going to be pretty moving into its dark phase. Because guess what? Next Tuesday, on the 25th, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio. We're officially in eclipse season. And I think that's why we're feeling such weird, funky energy right now leading up to this. This is such a powerful moment of transformation, transcendence, but transmutation, a total shift. It's a total shift. And big changes, right? This is collectively a very revolutionary time, eclipse season. And then individually, it's revolutionary in our own specific way, in our own chart. So all of this is what is sort of, I feel like it's jumping on top of each other. Like these things are like piling on top of each other and making it very, very challenging for us to sort of stay in a way kind of grounded. I feel like it's kind of all over the place. It almost feels like timelines are shifting. And a south node eclipse is going to bring in some karmic release. So individually, we'll experience this based off of where this is in our chart. And collectively, we're going to experience this by seeing what happens in the collective in the world. So that's a lot. That's a lot of energy coming into like this eclipse. And this is all kind of starting this week and kind of it culminates really at the new moon energy. But then the moon's going to start, waxing. And 2 weeks later, we have our full moon total lunar eclipse in Taurus. So just know that right now, this month is going to be crazy. Scorpio season is going to be crazy. We've got the Venus-Sun conjunction, which is going to bring up a lot of transformational things. We're kind of in the underworld right now with Venus, getting ready to come out and into the light. But at the same time, there's an eclipse. So everything that happens during eclipse season is going to be magnified. So I would be very, very careful about who you surround yourself with, what kind of energy you surround yourself with. What do you allow into your life? What are you looking at? What are you engaging in? Because all of this all of everything during eclipse season becomes magnified. So it's really important for us to take care of ourselves during this time. Major, major, major self-care. Like after this broadcast today, I'm going to literally go and do some major self-care, maybe take a bath or something. But I just need to I'm ready for this day to end. It was really long. Hello, Lucida. Welcome in. So that's really happening. Oh, I forgot to mention that there is an announcement to make today, and it is that my new Atlantean astrology readings are now available. And so when you go to my website or you go to my booking page, which you can get to through my website, there's links below. You can now sign up for Atlantean astrology reading. It is a 2-hour reading. The first hour, we fill out the handout that you get access to when you sign up for the reading. And then the second hour is basically the reading. So it's a very interactive thing. It's live on Zoom, one-on-one, super powerful. And I can't wait to start doing these readings. So they're now available. So super excited about that. Hello, Tim. Welcome in. So what is Sun trine Mars, Venus trine Mars? Mars has to do with action and drive. Mars right now is really transiting through the Orion. Starseed has been transiting through Orion, connecting us to that frequency of the 9th dimension, which according to the ancient Atlanteans, it is basically the divine, the void. It is the source of it all. And when we are tapping into that, I mean, like so many things can come through, downloads can come through, like time can feel warped, although Orion energy is very much an intellectual energy, and it does love to find more information. So we may also be interested in learning more and more and more, but it's also connected to a very advanced frequency, a very high frequency. The 9th dimension is no joke. Like we here in the third, we're in that trinity of the 3, 6, 9, which is a really sacred number. But in the third dimension, we have a trinity to the 6th and the 9th. So we can actually ascend basically to the 9th dimension via the 6th dimension, which is understanding how the world works and understanding how everything is made and created and like sort of manufactured, right? Because the 6th dimension are the architects of reality, and it's both dark and light, and it's understanding the whole spectrum, not getting stuck on one thing because you think that like, oh, that's so spiritual. Like, no, you look at the dark, you look at the light, you see the overall, how the system works. You understand how the architects of reality, which is basically the understanding of sacred geometry, creates our reality here in the third. And then once you really understand that, you can even maybe get a glimpse of the beginning of it all, which is the 9th dimension. So that is what is happening right now. I feel like I just went off on a tangent. But anyways, I was talking about the Atlantean astrology, but also the trine to Mars. See, you guys? I mean, literally just like went off and I have no idea where I came from, how I got here. Mars. I was talking about Mars. Okay. So Mars is action and drive, and he's on Orion. That's how I got there. Wow. Okay. So the trine from the sun and Venus to Mars happening like one day, one after the other this week, today and tomorrow, is actually really significant because it brings in like enthusiasm. It brings in excitement. It can bring in motivation. It can bring in the desire to make something happen, to do something. You know, this is a good time to like start projects. All of those things are really important. That has been happening to me too. Yeah, exactly, right? All of those things are really important. And so then with the Venus energy, it adds to the relationship. So in your relationships, a trine from Venus to Mars can be like harmonious, like mutual desire, right? Like sexual desire. This is about sensuality, Venus and Mars, right? That whole concept of, the whole concept of, you know, the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine, you know, coming together and like creating life. That is basically what this frequency can be about. So it can feel really amazing in relationships. It can be like a desire to really harmonize with someone. I mean, literally straight up, like intimacy and stuff. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful energy. It's a beautiful frequency. However, so enjoy the first today and tomorrow. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we get a whole different frequency. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome. And finally going to sell my homemade wreaths tomorrow. Ooh, how fun. Exciting. So Ressa too. Yeah, happening to her too. So then we get a square to Pluto from the sun on Wednesday and then from the Venus on Thursday. So we go from this very beautiful, like, yay, trine, like beautiful, let's do this, like, let's harmonize, to like really disturbing, like change of events. So that would be, it's so important. Like any kind of opposition or square aspects, so the hard aspects to Pluto, no matter what's going on, can really bring up like power struggles, issues with like domination, the inability to like see eye to eye, you know, conflict, but not more than conflict, more like the truth is revealed and it's like the ugly truth, you know? And so, I would say also with Pluto energy, it takes you really deep. There's no choice but to go deep. And what I mean by that is you have to face the truth. That is what Pluto will always bring. You can be sure that Pluto will always bring the truth. And if you trust that truth, if you trust what's being revealed, then you will let go and you will release of what no longer serves you so that you can be reborn and move into this powerful new frequency. It's interesting that this is happening right as the Venus is coming very close to the sun the week right before, and right before as the moon is going dark, and then going to have a solar eclipse next Tuesday. Hello, Sanders, welcome in. So that's a lot going on over there, you know, in there. Hello, Magali, welcome in. It's just like intense coming into this whole transformation, transmutation. It's really, there's a lot of, because that new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So whatever Pluto is doing around this time is really important to look at. If he's squaring the sun and Venus as they're coming together for this very first time in a long time in Libra, 29 degrees of Libra, that you better pay attention. That's significant. So what it's going to bring up is what's not working. What is the truth right now? Shine a light on the truth so you can see it. But the best thing that we can do during these kind of crazy transits is to be gentle with ourselves. If we can be gentle with ourselves, we move through it with grace, right? The key is to move through the energies with grace, but also gentleness, because we can get carried away. Like we can get literally carried away in the freaking deep, murky depths of like a giant lake, which is like what Scorpio is. Like you can't see the bottom. It's not even like the ocean. The ocean is like Pisces. Scorpio is like a deep lake that like you can't see the bottom. like the Loch Ness monster. I'm just kidding. That's that kind of like profound Pluto scorpionic energy. And that's what we're dealing with right now. So don't expect this to be easy. I hope that it is for everybody. I really hope that you can move with grace. I feel today, I've already like today, because I have had such a busy day, it was like right towards the end, I was like kind of getting kind of agitated, right? But I was able to really take care of myself, which meant really got to go eat. Like you have to go eat, you know? And so I did that, and I just didn't even worry about how late I was going live. And I just like took care of myself in that way, and I got through it. And that's a very simple example. But when you get triggered, that's where the real work happens. Like, how are you going to react? How are you going to like respond to yourself when you get triggered? Like, because you do need to take some time to like chill, you know? Raessa says a lot of this energy in my first house. Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's intense. Veronica says Scorpio is like the iceberg hiding under the surface of the water. Yes. It seems like there's only a little bit on the top, but there's a lot of depth to it. It's profound. It's way more than you could handle, but you got to handle it anyways. And that's the frequency that we're moving into as we get into the weekend. But we will have that beautiful conjunction with Venus and the sun, which is, it's promising something. Like, don't think of it as like the world's going to be amazing now. Yay. No, this is promising something, but obviously action is the only thing that can really create change. So the promise, the hope, I feel like it's hope, and at the same time, it's being fully engulfed, fully in the darkness, fully in the shadow, and then coming out on the other side, fully transformed, fully transmuted. It's like Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent, right? This is what this is. Like, it's a very, 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 very connected to the actual Mayan and also Aztec, right? But like Quetzalcoatl was the winged serpent, the feathered, not even winged, the feathered serpent. And the feathers represent the celestial realm. The feathers represent the higher chakras. The Kundalini, the snake, represents the DNA, right? The rising of the Kundalini in many, many cultures is the activation of the centers, the chakras along the spine. And when the Kundalini activates, it rises up. It doesn't go down, it rises up. The snake lives in the underworld, but it also has the ability to climb up the trees. It has the ability to live in the underworld, to live on the earth, and to climb up the trees. And that's why the snake and the serpent is the symbolism of enlightenment and awakening and ascension. Because it goes from this very sort of, it's the snake, which literally is also like the scorpion, which eventually becomes the eagle. That's how that works. And then once it becomes the eagle, eventually the eagle must become the scorpion and the snake once again. The eagle must then close its eyes and go inward again. And all of this is going on right now this week. That's why it's so much. And that's why I was like, I don't care how late I'm going live, because this is a broadcast that needs to happen. And I'm really glad that I did, because when I get into this sort of this channeling mode, I feel like so much comes through. Lucida says, yes. So that's the power. That's the power right now of the snake. And it's the feathered serpent, Quetzalcoatl, which literally rises up. So we're going there. It's hope for the future, but right now we're in it. Don't expect to feel fucking amazing during this transit where everybody's in the underworld, where everybody's squaring Pluto, who is the god of the underworld, who's going to rule this eclipse that's coming up in a week in Scorpio with the South Node. Just giving you a little heads up. I was surprised seeing you on at this time. Yeah, I'm happy that you were able to catch me live too. So, I mean, honestly, there's magic I feel like this is a week of deep potential, but it might not feel as good as like we kind of would like it to. Esperanza. Oh my God, I love that name. That's amazing. So that's basically what's coming up. Next week, we're going to be talking about the eclipse. Next week, I don't even think I'm going to do this broadcast because I'm going to be doing the eclipse astrology on next Monday. And then Tuesday will be the ceremony. So very, very intense energies coming up, and we are going to be okay. So let's pull some cards. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and teachers for being here with us this evening. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of the cards as well as my energy so that I can be that open channel of wisdom and grace and intuition to flow through to everyone that is watching this reading live and the replay. Ad Gurena Me, Jugat Gurena Me, Sat Gurena Me, Siddhi Guru Devena Me. Ad Gurena Me, Jugat Gurena Me, Sat Gurena Me, Siddhi Guru Devena Me. Ad Gurena Me, Jugat Gurena Me, Sat Gurena Me, Siddhi Guru Devena Me. Ad Gurena Me, Jugat Gurena Me, Sat Gurena Me, Siddhi Guru Devena Me. Okay. Hello, Nelvin. Welcome in. We're going to do the 5-card pull and see what message is coming up for us this week. Also, don't miss Wednesday's live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, because we're going to be talking about the conjunction between the Sun and Venus. This explains a lot. I don't suffer anxiety much, and recently I have been feeling it a lot, and I stop and question if I'm okay, if things are okay constantly. Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that, Magali, because it's true. I know now that basically when I feel emotions, they're not really mine. And that's the crazy truth. When you have a completely open solar plexus, literally no emotions are yours. Can you believe that? Like, can you actually fucking believe that? I realized that this weekend. I'm like, we learned really deeply about the solar plexus in my human design training. And it was literally like, if you have a completely open solar plexus, no emotions are yours. None of them. If you're feeling an emotion, it's connected to something else. It could be a thought that you're having that's like causing an emotional reaction. It could be that you were just around someone and you took on their energy. And so then you're feeling their emotions and then you think they're yours. It could be that you were just kind of caught in the crossfire of some emotional arrow going through the ethers. I mean, honestly, it sounds crazy, but that's literally what it is. And when I recognize that, if you're somebody who also has a completely open solar plexus, you can just sit with yourself and ask yourself, what do I need? It's like, I know this isn't mine. How can I take care of myself, like baby myself, so that I can release this and not attach to it? Hello, Rebecca. Welcome in. Lucida says, I've been feeling emotions and having thoughts that I don't feel are mine. I'm trying to navigate what's my intuition versus mind chatter. Yeah, exactly. Aloha. I realized I'm off on my live video timing because everyone went on daylight saving except for me. But daylight savings didn't happen yet. I'm so confused. Rebecca, daylight savings time hasn't happened yet. It doesn't happen until November 6th. That's when the time will change. So I'm kind of confused too now. But Magali says yes, and I honestly feel super crazy sometimes thinking this doesn't belong to me, but I question myself, like, how can I be feeling everyone constantly? Yeah, if you have, I would look at your human design, Magali, because if you have an undefined solar plexus, that's what happens with that. Then I'm just confused. Yeah. Oh my God. And usually daylight saving time switches are usually on Sundays. Maybe she's on a different timeline. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Hello, Ping. Welcome in. I'm expecting the same. Oh, I call them power surges. Either way, once we're aware, it only becomes an upgrade to our individual experience. Exactly, because the thing with the completely open, and this goes for you too, Ressa, the completely open solar plexus center is so fucking wise because it can literally like perceive. It's like one of your superpowers, being able to like feel everything. Like you like imagine being a master of this energy. You're like, zzz, like, you know, like scanning, like scanning the room. Like, okay, that's coming from there. That's coming from there. Okay, that's coming from there, from there, from there. Especially as a projector, Ressa. Especially as a projector. Can you imagine being a master of this energy? Yeah, like, and not being attached to any of it. And that's what I'm learning in my own process of human design, my own experiment, because that's what we call it. In my own experiment of human design, I am learning how to completely, like all emotions, all of them. It doesn't matter if I think they're mine. I can argue and argue and argue with myself that I'm feeling this way, but I'm feeling this. But actually, I know now that none of it is mine. I am a naturally non-emotional being. And that doesn't mean I'm like cold. It means in human design that I have this master gift of sensing emotion. What you do with that, right, is another story. But I also have the gift of being a projector. So I do have a use for it, a very important use for it in the world, right? To help other people recognize it. And a lot of times what I feel is it gets lonely. It's a lonely world, especially having so many undefined centers. It's a lonely world because you see things that others don't, and you just kind of feel alone. That's why I'm so thankful that I have Don, my husband, who's also a projector. Me and him have like the most amazing conversations that I don't think I could ever have with anyone else. I mean, I probably could, but like, you know what I mean? Like just nothing, no drama, just like pure hardcore truth and no fear of the truth. Nothing will get in the way of that kind of bond. If you can get that kind of bond with someone, like, bless the Lord. I am really going like off today. Just going somewhere. We better look at the cards and do this reading. Okay. So here we go. Oh, that's really sweet, Ping. And I'm really glad that you're here too. Tim says, I too have been bouncing back and forth with emotions. I wonder if you have a defined solar plexus. Like I said on our last live. Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. First card of our reading for today is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups. So what are we dealing with right here? This is the story of the nightingale. It's a Danish folk tale. The Four of Cups represents romanticizing bad choices while ignoring the good alternatives before you. It is coveting what is superficially better, neglecting a plain nightingale who can actually sing away death. This is a lack of awareness. This is pessimism. This is daydreaming, lethargy, and reevaluation. The Four of Cups is asking us to recognize where in our lives we are unaware, where in our lives we lack knowing, we lack awareness, where in our lives we're focusing too much on the negative and not enough on the positive. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that we're focusing too much on the things that are not working and not focusing enough on the things that are working. This is our starting off point. Like if you are only thinking about all the bad stuff, all the bad possibilities, or even just the things that aren't working in your life, you're ignoring a whole other side of the equation, because there is always, always, always a duality. The card that we get next is actually the 5 of coins, but it came out reversed. So that's a good thing for us. This is a really cool card. It's the little match girl, the story of the little match girl, another Danish fairy tale. The 5 of coins represents financial hardship and feeling left in the cold. The little match girl needs help, but no one is willing to help her. She struggles alone, despite her proximity to a force that could potentially help her. When this card is reversed, instead of feeling that energy of isolation, ruin, recession, adversity, we actually feel improved energy, improved finances, paid debts, positive change, acceptance, and recovery. This is the challenge, is that we need to find the light at the end of the tunnel. We need to find and encourage ourselves to see the light, to see the beauty, to not focus on the negative, but to focus on the positive. The overall theme that we get today is the World card. This week we get the World, which means what? The World is the last card of the major arcana. It is the completion. It is an ending, because next comes the Fool, Aries. Next comes the Fool, Aries. When we start all over again, it starts with the Fool card. And what we're experiencing here is the completion of something. This week, a big and powerful completion is happening. And it's funny that it's the world, right? Something collective, I feel like, is going to show up this week, could possibly show up this week, because this is what this card really truly represents. It could also be celebration. Where are you triumphing in life? Can you celebrate those moments? Can you actually celebrate the moments where you are triumphing in life? The next 2 cards, you're not going to believe them. But we literally got the Magician. So we got 3 major arcana today, and the Magician and the Devil. Talking about the snake, right? Talking about the snake. Look at the difference in these imageries. Okay? One looks like the fairy godmother, which I believe that's the story. Yep, the fairy godmother. And the devil is Boitata, a Brazilian mythology. The devil gives into the ego, lusting for unnecessary or harmful things, unwilling to leave negative situations. It is a dragon sitting upon a pile of gold it does not need, a person setting a forest on fire for their own gain. The other end of the spectrum, the magician, is a helping hand. She has the ability to change raw materials into something wonderful and dreaming into doing. But she is only the helping hand. That's the key. It is up to the protagonist to use her support moving forward to do the right thing. The dark and the light. The ability for us to move from the darkness to the light really can only be done by our own action. Sun trine Mars, Venus trine Mars, putting action into our words and recognizing that sometimes, right? Because I don't feel like the devil card is bad. It can also be dealing with addictions. And these are the 2 cards that are the wisdom from our spirit guides. But it can be dealing with addictions. And it's noticing your addictions and knowing that only you can change your life. You may be experiencing the darkness, but only you have the power to change your life. And it comes through action. It comes through knowing yourself at a deep and powerful level. That's when the change comes. I feel this is very much Venus right here. Venus, the underworld, right? The light and the dark. Venus and this going through the underworld and having to face the serpent. Or what do they call it in the Garden of Eden? The snake? What is it called? Anyways, it's kind of like that. Except when this happens too, when Venus meets the underworld, when Eden eats the apple, what happens? Full on understanding of everything, illumination, enlightenment, knowing. This is the energies that we're dealing with. Like, this is deep, deep, deep stuff. Guess what? We got the frog. So, emotional week. It may be a very emotional week for some of us. The frog is like also about cleansing. It's an emotional cleansing, really. But it's here because we need to release and we need to let go and we need to just feel the emotions and we need to move on. Clearing, cleansing, healing. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. And I will add, and so is ours. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so be careful of that. So it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. I started this reading talking about self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse. And I'm going to go take a bath after this. Water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. Are you fucking ready for this? It's time to dive in. Time to dive in. Because we are not meant to carry a heavy load. We're not meant to carry a heavy load. We got to let go of even our belief systems in order to really truly be free. Can you let go of everything that you believe in order to really truly be free? Boom. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Totally makes sense in your life right now, Jacqueline says. I had a message that when I next saw a frog, it would trigger my abundance, and I'm starting selling my goods tomorrow. That's epic. I love that. Lucida's writing a fantasy story about a frog. Ooh, take the leap. I love that. Well, you guys, it's a freaking intense week. It's a gnarly week. There's a lot going on. It is heavy. It is light. It is everything. From the darkness to the light, from the light to the darkness, back and forth. We're just in it. So here's pop quiz. What's your job this week? What's your main job this week? Somebody put it in the chat. What do you need to do this week as the craziness arrives and goes and comes and goes? What is your job? The job that the frog told us. It is to take care of yourself. Easier said than done, but just do your best. Oh my God, you have a bullfrog that is living under your porch right now? That's crazy. Self-care. Yes, Magali. Self-care, self-care, self-care. Thank you. Gratitude too. Yes. Thank you all so much for being here. I will be back on Wednesday to talk about the freaking magic of Venus. Like, no joke. If there were ever any broadcasts that was really about the magic of Venus, it would be this one that we're going to have on Wednesday to talk about the superior conjunction of Venus and the sun. And I'll show you the chart and we're just going to take a look at it and have some fun with that. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you again very soon. Check out the new Atlantean astrology reading. There's links below to my readings, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Sat Nam.